Hello guys and welcome back to a new video. Now today we are talking, as you can see right here, about Mutua Madrid Open, the second clay Masters 1000 of the season that started just today with some epic matches as well. Bublik going in that very long tiebreaker and Stan Wawrinka coming through tough one against American Maxim Cressy, but that's not what we will be talking about today. Today we are previewing the tournament and basically talking about the biggest favorites, what we expect from the tournament, and at the very end I will also make my prediction, which probably will be similar to the most predictions that were made about the Mutua Madrid Open, but still we will make a prediction for this one. So guys, first of all, obviously we have a very long list of withdrawals. Unfortunately, yes, Rafael Nadal won't be playing, Novak Djokovic won't be playing, Jannik Sinner won't be playing, and also some other notable guys, notable mentions, but these three, of course, are the most notable: Jannik Sinner, Novak Djokovic, and Rafael Nadal, all withdrawing from Mutua Madrid Open. So yeah, it's certainly a shame that these players won't play here. Actually, last year it was one of the strongest ATP tournaments of the year, if not the strongest of all, because also Novak Djokovic was playing, Rafael Nadal was playing, in all of the other big names as well. But this year it's quite the opposite. A lot of players really getting injured, getting tired, and yeah, this definitely opens up the draw for other, maybe not so notable names on the ATP Tour. But yeah, and that's the first big fact, of course, the very long list of withdrawals. And another thing which we must take into account is the fact that Madrid is situated on the average 650 meters above the sea level. In that high altitude, actually it is the second highest capital city in Europe, only after Andorra, which is a very small state. So yeah, that's also a very big concern for some players. For example, Iga Swiatek, the WTA #1, was talking about this just actually yesterday, that's something that really doesn't suit her that well. And of course, if we are in the higher altitude, the balls fly quicker. It is a lot basically better for the big servers. For example, Sasha Zverev, as we all know, has won this tournament a couple of times in the past. So yeah, let's see who wins this one. But I will start with my dark horse for this tournament. So my dark horse is Francisco Cerundolo, the Argentine player. I think he's very good on clay. He actually lost the tough one against Matteo Berrettini in Monte Carlo, and he lost against Casper Ruud, I do believe, in Barcelona. But yeah, he's a good player. He has had some good runs this year. In Miami, he defeated Felix Auger-Aliassime, only to lose in the quarterfinals against Karen Khachanov. But I think this could be his tournament. He has a very good forehand. He can rip that one basically anywhere into the court. So yeah, I'm just picking Francisco Cerundolo. Let me just take a very quick look at the draw. Where is Francisco Cerundolo and his potential path? So he, of course, gets the bye in the first round. In the second round, he could get Pedro Cachin or Shelbayh from Saudi Arabia, I do believe. So, or that's Qatar, maybe. So yeah, for second round, pretty good for Francisco Cerundolo. In the third round, maybe Francis Tiafoe, then FAA, Felix Auger-Aliassime, who he has beaten in Miami already. And then, well, in the quarterfinals, maybe Stefanos Tsitsipas. That might be a tough one, but I mean, Francisco Cerundolo, I think, could do very well in Madrid. So he is my dark horse for this one. And then just let's go through my top three favorites that I really want to discuss. I went back and forth on this one. Didn't really know which players to choose. Actually, the two players, they were very clear for me. The two players from the top half of the draw. The two youngsters, I should say. But the third one, I was thinking Tsitsipas, Zverev could do well. Andrei Rublev, you know, these guys from the so-called next gen. But eventually, I decided to go with the other guy. I decided to go with American Taylor Fritz. I think he has a very, very favorable draw. Yeah, so that's also plays a part. I don't really want to go through his draw because that would get a lot of time, but you could look it up. I think he has a pretty good draw, so I think he could make it. Potentially, I'm predicting him to make semis against Tsitsipas. That's one of my predicted semifinals. Tsitsipas against Taylor Fritz, basically on his route to the semifinal. He has there, for example, Cam Norrie or Daniil Medvedev, but I think he should be able to defeat these guys. But yeah, Taylor Fritz, the thing I want to say about him, he's American. And as we all know, even Tsitsipas wrote that, I do believe in Monte Carlo on the camera, that something like American clay is like a unicorn or unicorn on skateboard. So yeah, American clay is very weird. They are not used to the European red clay, but Taylor Fritz, he has been playing very well on European clay, which is pretty surprising considering that he's American. Of course, he has made the semifinals in Munich. Last week, he has made semifinals in Monte Carlo. So far, so good for Taylor Fritz on clay this season. And of course, even in his very young days, back in the old good days for Taylor Fritz, he has made the finals of Junior Roland Garros. So that was very impressive. Already when he was very young, he was playing very well on clay, because you have to be playing well on clay if you want to make a junior Grand Slam finals at Roland Garros, right? So, I mean, Taylor Fritz, as I have said, he's an American, but he could play very well on red clay. He has proven that many times already, and I'm picking him to be as my number 3 favorite for this tournament. So I'm actually predicting Taylor Fritz to defeat Stefanos Tsitsipas in the semi-final, as he defeated Tsitsipas in Monte Carlo. So he has already shown that he could defeat Stefanos Tsitsipas. And Monte Carlo, you could say, arguably Tsitsipas likes more playing in Monte Carlo because he has already won there twice, whereas in Madrid he didn't win a title in Madrid. So that was a very good achievement by Taylor Fritz, beating the 2-time defending champion Stefanos Tsitsipas, and you really wouldn't bet against him to beat Tsitsipas again in Madrid. So number 3, my number 3 favorite, Taylor Fritz. Number 2 favorite, Holger Rune, the Danish superstar, the Danish youngster, winner in Munich last week, finalist in Monte Carlo. What a player he is. What a player he is. I must admit, guys, I don't really like his on-court attitude and his, just his manners on court. I don't think they are necessarily always very good. I think he's very explosive, very vocal, and I don't really like that, but obviously he's a great player, amazing player. He's still very young, and yeah, he could still learn about this mental side, but I think Holger Rune will be a player to beat in Madrid this next 2 weeks, actually, because it is a 2 weeks tournament, updated, of course, upgraded from 1 week tournament for what we have been used to in the past couple of years. So Holger Rune, I think those results just speak for themselves. Winner in Munich, finalist in Monte Carlo. He was that close to winning Monte Carlo title, to winning his second Masters 1000, but eventually he wasn't able to keep his mental side of the game, and he really lost it at the end against Andrei Rublev in the third set. So, Holger Rune, my favorite number 2. I'm predicting him to make semifinals, and in the semifinals I think he would face a very familiar name in the past couple of months on the ATP Tour, Carlos Alcaraz. What a player he is, guys. What a player, Holger Rune, amazing. Carlos Alcaraz, maybe even a little bit more. Winner in Barcelona. First time he was able to defend his title, and it was a really good one match. It was a brilliant match, we must say, against Stefanos Tsitsipas. Those drop shots, 10 drop shot winners. Oh my Dave, what a display from the young Spaniard, and he's still only 19 years old. He will turn 20 very, very soon in the next couple of days, but he's still pretty darn young, and he has still a lot of room to improve, which is just absolutely scary. And he really dismantled Tsitsipas in that Barcelona final. He dismantled world number 5 on his favorite surface, on Tsitsipas' favorite surface, which is just absolutely scary. It wasn't even close against Tsitsipas in the Barcelona final, and I think that tells you all. I do believe he had 27 winners and 7 unforced errors, which is just out of this world. I mean, if he will play like he played against Tsitsipas, nobody stands a chance against Carlos Alcaraz. I would say it this way, because nobody from the draw, maybe Novak Djokovic, maybe Rafa Nadal, who knows what Jannik Sinner could have done, but I think even HOLGER RUNE wouldn't stand a chance against Carlos Alcaraz in the semifinals if he will play like he played against Tsitsipas, which is not guaranteed, because during that week in Barcelona we have seen also some mediocre performances from Carlos Alcaraz, but again, if he will be able to maintain that really top level as he did against Stefanos Tsitsipas, it will be pretty close to impossible to stop the teenage phenomenon on his way to yet another Mutua Madrid Open title. So I'm predicting the semi-final between two teenagers, HOLGER RUNE against Carlos Alcaraz, and I'm predicting the home guy, Spaniard Carlos Alcaraz, to beat HOLGER RUNE in straight sets. So it will be, I am predicting final Carlos Alcaraz against Taylor Fritz, and eventually I'm predicting who else then Carlos Alcaraz to beat Taylor Fritz again in straight sets. Actually, I think Carlos Alcaraz, I don't know. I don't want to say he wouldn't lose a single set on his route to the title, but I think he would be, at least he will be very close to that. Again, I think Carlos Alcaraz, actually, this is the last thing I want to talk about in this video, actually, it's very weird, but Carlos Alcaraz as the top seed has probably the toughest draw, I would say. When you look at his draw, in the second round he would face potentially Emil Ruusuvuori, which is a very tough opponent. Ruusuvuori is a great player, even on clay. Then in the third round he could face Grigor Dimitrov, again dangerous player. Then in the quarterfinals he could be facing Alexander Zverev, very tough opponent. And in the semi-finals, in the round of 16, he may be facing Alexander Zverev. In the quarterfinals, Andrei Rublev. In the semi-finals, HOLGER RUNE. And in the final, potentially Stefanos Tsitsipas, as I have said, Taylor Fritz, etc., Daniil Medvedev, etc., whoever you choose. But it's very tough road path to the title. Ruusuvuori, Dimitrov, Zverev, Rublev, Rune. And then in the final, potentially, I have predicted Taylor Fritz. That's very tough road to the title for Carlos Alcaraz. As I have been looking on the draw, I think he has the toughest draw of all the players, which is pretty interesting, like considering he's the top seed. But again, if you want to be the best, you have to be the best, and you have to beat all of the best, right? So yeah, that's my prediction. Carlos Alcaraz to defend his Mutua Madrid Open title and to win yet another tournament on his home soil. And again, if you are wondering if Carlos Alcaraz would retake the world #1 spot, if he will be able to win in Madrid, and considering Novak Djokovic withdrawing from Mutua Madrid Open, the answer is no. Even though Djokovic would lose all of his points as he made semifinals last year, Carlos Alcaraz still, even if he wins this tournament, he won't be able to be world #1, but it will be very close. Only 5 points will then separate #1 Novak Djokovic from #2 Carlos Alcaraz. So hey guys, that's all for today's video. Again, I just wanted to make a preview for Mutua Madrid Open and my predictions for this tournament. Again, a lot of withdrawals, high altitude, a lot of factors to consider, but eventually I am going with Carlos Alcaraz to win this one yet again. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. I really appreciate all of your support. If you are enjoying the videos, guys, please consider to subscribe. We are just 2 subscribers away from reaching the number 100. So I do appreciate all of you guys. I really do. And again, thank you for all of your support, and see you in the future videos very soon. And enjoy Mutua Madrid Open. Should be a good one. Bye, guys, and see you soon. Bye.